Welcome back to another video here on manufacturing your supplements properly. So let's dive into actually acquiring an ingredient. What you'll see in front of you is the certificate analysis for our creatine monohydrate. There are plenty of places for you to get raw materials from. There are places in China, there are places in eBay. I'm sure you could even buy them on Temu at this. But there are distributors here in the United States that have handled for most common ingredients and even some fairly uncommon stuff, have already handled the import, absorbed the freight costs from getting it from overseas, and they are buying in huge volumes and then distributing it throughout the U.S. So for what we're doing here is we do not need a large quantity. We're going to see exactly how much we could get, what the MOQ, which is your minimum order quantity, and for this distributor here, we have agreed on 25 kilograms. That is their MOQ. So we're going to have to calculate, see exactly how far that'll get us if we want to buy a little bit more than that, or if that's going to be sufficient. So first thing you have to do is verify that the distributor you're getting it from is well known. Nutrivative is a company that I've used. I've heard a ton of people use. I've seen it in a lot of manufacturing facilities. So these are good people. No chance of having any problems here. This is their current batch of creatine that they sent me the COA of. And we can see here that everything has conformed for identification. The dry content assay is within range of where we need it. You'll see that there are no heavy metals, no issues here. Particle size, 200 mesh, that's fine. No bacterias, and it has been stamped. And you can see that they originally had 18,000 kilograms. So imported quite a bit. This was tested mid last year, so we can see that it is still a valid COA. It's well within the time frame that we would need here. So let's hop over here and we'll do a little calculation. So I built this little thing here. We are going to use creatine monohydrate at 5 grams per serving. Doing a little bit of research here. I think we will do a 60 serving container. So that right there is 300 grams per container, and minimum order quantity is 25 kilos and 300 grams. So if we were to make a 60 serving container with 5 gram servings, MOQ of 25 kilograms would allow us to make 83 containers. I think that's a fair starting point for those of you that are not jive with kilograms. 25 kilograms is 55 pounds. So this is not a huge order, but this will get us started. And I think for the sake of this this video series, 83 containers in our first lot will be definitely doable and something that we can control fairly easily given the size of what we're doing. So once we get this product ordered, it will have to be freighted in. Once it shows up, we will then have to quarantine it. So by the time we order this, we need to have a procedure in place for how we handle our raw materials, some kind of quarantine system. I'm thinking we put a red X on the box, and then we will have to send out a portion of it to qualify this supplier. So basically, they've sent us the certificate of analysis. The regulation requires us to do some sort of testing to ensure and validate what they are saying. Once we have qualified this manufacturer for this ingredient, we will not have to do this again, and potentially not for other ingredients from the same origin. that's a little bit deeper dive, but that's a base. So when it comes in, we're turn around, send it out to do a qualitative analysis on what type of ingredient it is, and also try to get back a quantitative on the accuracy and content potency. So this is basically what is involved. If we had multiple ingredients here, you can see how many different wheels would be turning at one time, and then we would have to verify potentially multiple suppliers to even get this thing started. So I'm going to start off with one ingredient for our product and go from there. All right, guys, so this kind of wraps up what we were looking at for the product ordering and starting to validate and verify how much of the ingredient we need, if the supplier is going to be able to provide us documentation that will allow us to move forward and use a quality product from a quality distributor within our product here. So interesting note before we leave that there are actually a couple places I've found that have posted their same COA using Nutrivative, a very big TikTok brand. I saw post the same exact certificate of analysis for their creatine. So just so you guys are understanding that these distributors have layers within different contract manufacturers, different brands. So this is something that you're probably already taking if you're taking creatine. We are just going to source it more directly, put it in the bottle, and you guys get to be a part of that. So once again, thank you guys. James from Impel Nutrition. Please like and subscribe.